Alright. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're back where we left off. Now let's do the two most recent videos of the channel. Let's go over those. Yeah, this one. I don't know the order for when I uploaded.
I used to work at Chicago, no department store. I used to work at Chicago, don't there anymore.
Okay, so the idea of the clones. I wanted to. This is another misogyny joke. I don't know if you know the pub song "I Used to Work in Chicago." It's just a bunch of puns, or yeah, it's pretty much a bunch of puns of like misogyny or funny, I don't know, anti-women jokes or whatever. But I didn't. I couldn't get like people to, sing the song with me. So I had the idea of recording myself multiple times doing these like callbacks, right? That's how the song works. So I decided, hey, why not make it a theme throughout this video and make myself have a bunch of clones, which would be a great idea. Make something new, add something new to this.
A lady came into the store one day, asking for some help.
Some help
she wanted. My AIDS she got.
Again, like the last video, something like visually on screen. This is a scene from Les Miserables, the most recent movie they came out with. I think it's 2012. And this is the master of the house, so the idea of being in a pub, singing pub songs, that was just the whole idea. It's not really a pub in this scene.
I don't work there.
But I just like I like the soundtrack they had for it. And this scene was pretty funny, so I decided to implement it. It has nothing to do with the clones or anything, but it's visually something there instead of a stupid black screen.
There anymore. Lads, calm down.
Oh, and again, just like the Rising of the Shield Hero video where it had the ringtone. I still have this ringtone, but it's at the time as well, I had the ringtone of the Guardian being active. So in Breath of the Wild, they have these mechanical foes, or these huge robots called Guardians, and when they detect you, or have detected you, they start making this active loop sound, and that just ended up being my ringtone. So also the notification would be like when you pick up something, and I have this program called Tasker on my phone, which allows me to do a bunch of pretty cool shit with it, and I made my phone into a Sheikah slate, so when I turn on the screen, it actually makes the animation of the Sheikah slate opening and the sound of the Sheikah slate opening as well, and when you turn off the screen it closes. Every hour it will make the champion sound when it fully charges, stuff like that. So that's the reason why I have this ringtone.
Getting a phone call.
Mushi mushi.
And the background conversations is just a bunch of mumbling nonsense, a few like words here and there that you could probably hear. I forget what they were. But you also hear a lot of clicking in the audio, and that's just because, yeah, the phone's port is clicking with, or like every time I move my phone or hit the back of it, it just makes a clicking sound. And the port moving around with the cable. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of that. Maybe get myself an actually good mic, but my content is not that quality yet, so I don't think investing in a good microphone will be worth it. I mean, the whatchamacallit, what's his name? The British guy. Fucking, yeah, very descriptive. Anyways, he, famous YouTuber, he records on his phone as well, and then I think he got himself a good mic. He was a math teacher. What's his name? Oh, Grade A Underate. Yeah, that's the name. He admitted that he recorded on his phone as well. I was like, oh, that's okay. I guess it should be good. But this phone has a really good mic, so I'm not too worried.
Super.
Suka.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Suka.
Ah.
Yeah.
Suka.
And just to mark the end of the phone call, I have the Sheikah Slate closing sound.
Top of the morning to you, lads.
So, top of the morning to you lads, that's a Jacksepticeye reference, because he always screams at the start of every video, and I just thought, yeah, one of the clones should say it.
Time we only went through 3 episodes of the show. And now we're gonna do some more to see what's so controversial. And let's continue.
So, canonically, I have, well, for the video's sake, I have 4 clones, plus myself. So, I record, like, 4 audio clips of clones, and then I have myself, but in this case, it was just the 4 clones instead of me.
サイコロ勝負に飽きた神々はさまざまな者たちと彼らの住む世界を作りました。
Yeah, I was just saying, oh, the gods actually created something fucking instead of playing dice and being lazy. And if you notice, one of the clones, hold on. He's like, oh my god. There's a guy who kind of sounds like that. Not really, we kind of exaggerated, but he made a comment here. I hate you. So I had one of the clones sound like him at some point.
いやよ、こいつ止めてよ。慣れますよ。
So if that were the case, that'd be very controversial of this anime. It's not an actual rape scene, but I love watching the JonTron reacts to weird ass anime, and that screen is from those like compilations. You sick fuck! Like what the fuck do you think Goblin Slayer was doing to her? No one knows, but it was just a stupid joke I put.
Bitch.
So that clone is also in there. It sounded like this guy. Why do you keep your real name? Oh my gosh. I might have to cut this portion of the video out. But anyways, if I don't know if you can clearly hear it, but some of the clones are complaining that they got a female singer to play this, but I think on its own it's fine. It's just complaining about it. I think people will get the reference eventually. Especially if I have that Shield Hero review uploaded, it would make more sense too. But they're actually complaining about there being a female singer for the intro. Where all the clones are like-minded because they're clones, so they all think the same.
Bitch.
So that's the shrine theme from Breath of the Wild. I make more Breath of the Wild references in this one. The previous one was Witcher 3 references. But that's the shrine music. He's like, oh, is this a shrine? And it's just a cool reference. I like the soundtrack. I have the soundtrack, actually. It's like, there's 210 tracks of Breath of the Wild, and people are complaining, oh, there's no music in Breath of the Wild. It's just quiet. I'm like, not really. There's quite a bit. That's including the DLC as well. Apparently, if you don't download it, the limited edition had the DLC and everything. It's like 5 discs or 5 CDs of music. But that was limited edition, so I downloaded it instead. But yeah, the shrine music's pretty cool.
Bitch, get out the way!
No. I've already made that joke. Twice.
Hey, suck my video.
So again, I put the move bitch get out of the way, but I knew that was getting stale because this is the 3rd time, but 3rd time's a charm, so I put it anyways. And because the clones are like-minded, they still like the joke. I like that joke, so they're like, hey, you know what, just keep that. You're stupid for not.
でもああ見えて結構周り見てるんですよこの人。
just a callback to the Bunny Senpai video. Yeah, he's hyper aware. He's gonna make a weird sound if you touch him.
So, what'd you guys think? Yeah, I thought it was pretty good too.
So that mumbling in the background is the same one from the introduction, but because I started it right away at, the start of the actual mumbling, it sounded different, but it's actually the same voice clip.
Next episode!
Yeah.
She's just screaming just like in the intro, so I thought, yeah, let's put that in there, shall we?
またか。何回壊せば気が済む。もうちょっと丁寧にやってくれ。
So, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, the number one complaint from the players is that, the weapons break all the time, and it's true. I hate that part of it. But now that I have the Master Sword glowing, it doesn't break as often, and the other weapons become secondary weapons. So the guy complains, "Are you constantly breaking my work? You're constantly destroying my work," and I was like, yeah, that's pretty much Breath of the Wild. So it's another Breath of the Wild reference for this video. Thematically, it's consistent. And this is not gameplay. This whole clip was actually someone else who made it, and I didn't credit him. But that's another reason why I don't want this show to get too big, or this channel to become too big, because I could get away with stuff like this. Because it would just fly under the radar, and no one would be the wiser.
今日はよくよくと人になる。
Stop that guy!
Hey man, watch out!
So again, if you're paying attention to the subtitles, he's running into everyone today. It's that idiom, or that expression, but in this case it's literal. I remember Jared, one of the guys on Xbox, he was, I already explained who he was. Co-worker, blah blah blah. Anyways, he showed me this video. Yeah, I thought it was funny. It's just, you're failing at the QTE. I mean, QTE is bad enough in video games, but if you're failing at it constantly, and it doesn't affect the ending in any way, because you end up successfully catching the guy regardless, or you always, I think you're always like behind him no matter what. You're always catching up to him. It's such a stupid game. It's like, I think it was called Heavy Rain, and it had so many glitches in it, but won Game of the Year. I don't know, but I thought it was a good reference to that clip.
これ見てください。これ。
10位から9位になったか。
You're not shit anymore!
So I didn't want to record me saying, yeah, you did it, blah blah blah. So that's the same clip from here. It's the exact same clip, only I cut it out with the I didn't cut it out. I just put like "you're not shit anymore" on top of it, a bit louder, so it doesn't sound like the same one. But that's a reference back to when she got the porcelain rank. Oh, you're a Twillet, you're shit, but now you're not.
10位から9位になったか。
And that's also like a callback of me sucking at Siege, and then I'm not that bad at it anymore, so I'm not shit anymore, but the guys on Xbox think I'm still shit.
You're not shit anymore!
それにお金もかかる。
Yeah, and in the divorce, you're gonna take half of it.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, it's gonna cost money, but I play on the idea that they're married. I don't think they are, but yeah, it's another misogyny joke. But if she divorces him, yeah, she'll take half of it anyway, so might as well get the sword.
Yeah, and in the divorce, you're gonna take half of it.
棍棒か。ああ、棍棒だ。
立ち会い人が来られないんですか？
So, the other girl whispers that in her ear, and she decides the best course of action would be to blurt it out. What was the fucking point of that?
So, the first time watching that, I didn't notice that, and then watching it again, I was being a bit more critical of the show because I'm gonna make a video on it. So, I thought it was really retarded. Like, isn't there a better way to express that? Maybe have the conversation cut to them instead of just having her whisper in her ear. It was just redundant and stupid. And so that was my reaction to it.
What was the fucking point of that? And I suppose you lovely ladies could help him out with that.
I think that joke is pretty self-explanatory. If not, just ask your friends whatever it means. So I wanted to bring that meme back, where it's like, oh, we'll be right back at like some stupid time, and the rat's face. Fucking bikers. Anyways, the rat's face was absolutely retarded, so I kept that frame as we put this thing on. We'll be right back, and it actually cuts to. Well, it wasn't really a commercial; it was some parody of a McDonald's commercial. You'll see.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you?
I remember back, I think I was still in elementary school, that video was a big thing. It's so funny. It's some stupid McDonald's parody of a commercial. But I was thinking, make it look like we're actually cutting to a commercial, like fading out, we'll be right back for these upcoming messages, blah blah blah. So I made it what if you saw a child in front of you? This meme is really funny. And make that into like a commercial, and then get back onto regular programming with a fade in to the next scene.
正義の神様って言うと大体の人が誤解するし、お芝居とかでもそうだけどさ、悪を裁くことではなく、悪があると気づかせることこそが正義なんだよ。
Oh my god.
So the joke being, look at that face. The joke being that because all the anime characters sound the same when they imitate each other, they don't even change their voices, and the clones are like, "What the fuck? She didn't even like make her voice change." That's just the joke.
Yeah. Did her voice change? I don't think so.
That WoW sounded a lot like the original WoW meme. I don't know what it's called, but that's actually me saying it. That's not a clip from the original meme, which I thought it sounded really close, but it's not the case. It's actually me saying it.
幸せそうで何より。で、お仕事やんなくていいの？バカなこと考えてないでお仕事しないとですね。
おい。
So, that's on Xbox, Brendan and just keeps saying, "Oh, go crazy, go stupid," and it reminded me of this Eminem song. I don't know if he's actually referencing that or not, but I just put that as her like imitating Eminem. And then she died of super cancer. This is an Arby and the Chief reference. So I don't know if you've watched it. It's just a bunch of action figurines from Halo. They actually come to life, and they do a bunch of stupid shit. But Chief wants to get the recon armor from Halo 3, so he emails Bungie asking if you have it, and out of pity, because he has super cancer. So this is just a reference to that show, which is, again, like poor... It's bad content, just like my videos. So it kind of parallels that channel, well, not that channel, those videos in regard. And because of the heart attack, the idea was because she had such a severe heart attack that it caused super cancer, which is stupid.
I'm no foreshadowing expert,
but I do believe the letter was along the lines of,
Then touch the darkness within me.
Chug, 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 chug.
So yeah, at the time I wasn't playing Dark Souls 3. Now I am kind of reluctantly because I don't want to play and waste time and make no progress. Also, I have a luck build. I have 31 luck in Dark Souls, and I'm still in the Undead Settlement. Oh my gosh, I love it. But I get to, even though I lose my souls, the idea was that because of the items I collect from the item discovery, that I would be able to sell my souls and level up instead. So I could explore and not worry about losing my souls on my second death, without recovering them. And, but I remember the Firekeeper saying this from someone else who was playing it, then Touch the Darkness within me. And I actually practiced making the tisk tisk sound though before I actually implemented it into the video. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Touch the darkness within me.
Chug, 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 chug.
So the clones are getting me, the original guy, to chug. I wanted to like segue into the next episode, but I wasn't sure how. I was like, hey, why not? Since they were at a pub, why not have him like drink something? And then beforehand, there was the joke about the meme about drinking bleach to forget like the stupid stuff that happens in TV shows and everything. So instead of alcohol, they're having me chug bleach. It's just bleach because they're clones, and who cares about clones? But me, I don't want to die from drinking bleach.
Chug.
その世間はまさか
勇者参上。
Yeah, so some sword makes a huge ass explosion, and I'm thinking, gosh, Michael Bay meme right there. Fuck, everything has to be an explosion. And that's the actual credit. It wasn't a picture of the credits from the first Transformer movie. It was actually the first credit wording from that movie. I actually put a video in there to show off the animation. So this is... Yeah, this is not a picture. This is actually a video slowdown of the directed by Michael Bay part. And yeah, I just wanted the animation in there, but at the end, it fades away rather quickly and it just looks like a picture, so whatever. And some stupid rendition of crawling in my... I think that's the name of it, crawling in my skin. But he just says crawling in my crawl. I thought it was a really good rendition, so I put that in instead. So if you didn't get it, Linkin Park does the end credits song of Transformers. Linkin Park, I mean. And fucking, what was the original one? But it's a different song, but I decided to put a more edgier song as the meme was going on.
それとゴブリンに水攻めとかするの禁止ね。火攻めもですよ。毒気もなし。
毒もか
当然でし
仕方あるまい
ょ。意外に素直。
What? You're not clones?
So another trope I realized or noticed in in anime is that they always talk in sync, and I thought, hey, I have the clones. Shouldn't clones be doing that because they're so like-minded? So I actually recorded my voice once saying, "What? You're not clones," but just changed the pitch slightly of each recording, and it was in perfect sync just to further the idea. This is stupid. Why you keep talking in sync? I mean, in real life, it does happen to me. We end up thinking like-minded with some friends, like a joke, and we say the punchline at the same time. But sometimes in these shows, the synchronity or whatever you call it when they talk in sync, it's such a long sentence, or sometimes even like a few sentences where they stay in sync. I think it's really stupid. So I got the clones to make the joke that, hey, we should be the ones doing that.
この辺りの小麦は目が粗いから衣がうまいそうだ。
おほう、詳しいな、コウニ殺し殿。
Okay, so I'll keep this one.
知り合いがな。
So it took me a fucking half hour just to find the fucking font for this. Okay? It doesn't look the same as the rest because I still couldn't find the right one. But this was close enough as it is because the Y, like, I had a full system to figure it out. The Y actually has this end right here that kind of goes perpendicular or on the x-axis. The comma is kind of the same. There was a lot of like things I took in note when trying to choose. I had like fucking 20 fonts to go through because in the video editor there are quite a bit of fonts and none of them were really that good for it. So I actually went online to download a bunch of fonts and install them, and I ended up with, I think it's Open Sans, because there's no serifs. Yeah, trust me, I studied this hard to try to get the right one, but there's no serifs, and it's a pretty basic font. The T's are the same, I think. The one difference being, I don't know if I could zoom in. It won't let me do it properly, but another reason why I was reluctant to use this one is because the ends actually change their thickness from the vertical bar here. If you look into the original subtitles, the thickness of the curve on the end remains the same, right? But in this font, it actually thins out. Like, even the M's do it, but it thins out near that vertical line right here, the connection. So I ended up using Open Sans, and the lettering wasn't thick enough, but if I made it any thicker, the W started looking weird because of the black outline on it. So it was close enough, as close as it could get it, and I was fine with that. And I ended up using the dub. So I downloaded the sub version of this episode and the dub version and just cut it to where it had this scene, synced the audio. I extracted the audio from the sub version, but placed the dub version on top of that and trying to sync the audio with that. Because the dub version doesn't have any subtitles, right? So I can do whatever I want with this. Make them say whatever. If you don't understand Japanese, the joke works pretty well. He's like, "Oh, you seem rather knowledgeable," and Goblin Slayer actually doesn't really swear, but yeah. So that was the hardest part of making this video, was the stupid discovery of this font. Oh, and this, another Adobe Photoshop project. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a penis cloud. I wanted, like, what is she actually looking at? Is she actually looking at the temple? No, she's actually looking at this stupid penis cloud. And again, with the dub version, I was able to make my own subtitles and implement that.
ここが法の神殿。初めて見ました。剣の乙女。あら、まあ。
So this, I did it in the most inefficient way as possible, but I couldn't think of a better way to get this implemented. So all I did was I had a picture of Sandra Bullock's face from Bird Box, I think the movie was. The Sword Maiden's eyes are blindfolded as well, so I just made a reference of her being like Sandra Bullock in that movie. But what happened was I went frame by frame, moving the picture to her face. Like, you can see it go move to side as So I went back and forth on each frame to see if the motion would be consistent with the camera panning downwards or upwards, I mean. And frame by frame, I just moved the picture and then cut the picture and then cut that portion and then put it in the next one. That took about 25 minutes to make. There's some video editors that would allow you to make just a transition of that. But this one, I couldn't figure it out, so I actually did it frame by frame.
まあどなた義と慈悲深き地母神よか弱き我らをどうか大地のお力でお守りくださいプロテクション
So, another Witcher 3 reference, but she says protection. Clearly she said protection, even though this is Japanese. So it's a joke of, oh, is she actually speaking English or Japanese? Or am I watching the dub? No, I'm actually watching the sub. But she did not say Quen. Quen is a sign in The Witcher 3. It's the protective sign. It's the shield sign. And when you use that sign, the active version of it, it actually makes, when you get hit, it actually makes those sounds. So I found a clip of that sound, I cut it, and then just put it on top of each other, overlaid it as if the arrows were actually hitting the sign, or the shield. And the Quen sign, when used in active mode, is actually a bubble like this, so just another Witcher 3 reference.
Nani?
Goblin か
So, I didn't have the clones for a while in the video. I was like, oh, I'm nearing, like, the end of the 6th episode, so might as well put them back in. So, just being like-minded when something, like, cool happens is like, oh, they're gonna go, oh, at the same time. And at the end, I was going, hoo, 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 just to, I don't know, add some stupid sound with them. Because remember, they're like-minded, so they would do the same thing and go, hoo, 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 together.
Alright, that's all for today.
No! Hey, I have enough editing to do as it is. Now get out of my apartment.
It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long time.
So, yeah, I actually live in an apartment, but the clones were over at my house later on as we were watching this. So, the idea was we weren't watching this at the pub, we were actually watching this in my apartment, and we're still drinking at my apartment. So the clones didn't want to leave and blah blah blah. I mean, editing these videos is not that hard, but to make it seem like I actually put a lot of work into it, I have enough editing to do as it is just a reference to that. And the ending tune is The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. He actually recorded this with a band. Craig Ferguson is a musician. I think he's a drummer. But it's just a reference to music I like and shows I watch. One of them being The Late Late Show. When Craig Ferguson did it, I don't watch it now anymore because I don't have aerial TV anymore. Because in Windsor we could get American channels, but now I just watch YouTube videos. Anyways, so that's the ending tune. I implemented it because I thought it was a good tune to put. And canonically, it's actually late because we just came back from the pub. And we're at my apartment, so it's been a long, long day, and you don't want to watch the show, but you want to watch this show anyway.
Hey, I have enough editing to do as it is. Now get out of my apartment.
It's hard to stay up, it's been a long, long day, and you got the Sandman at the door. But hang on, leave the TV on.
So I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually have the idea of having clones again.
And you got the Sandman at the door.
I just ask around if the guys if they want them back. there's mixed opinions about it. They say, yeah, you can put them back. I just don't know which one I'm gonna put them in, so we'll see about that. But I don't like using the clones because I have to record multiple lines more often, I guess. Because if I don't like the one take, I have to redo it, and then I have to do that a few more times just to get the appearance of having clones. So we'll see if I'll actually bring them back. Yeah, going to work in Ottawa. What was the last frame? Oh yeah. So the clones are, even though I'm supposed to be a black guy, but the clones are not black, so are they even my clones? Philosophical question, but it's the it's a meme. I have to find it. Let me find it. It's the dog looking up to the couple. Anyways, the joke, the meme was the dog's looking up at the couple. He's like, Jack, you have some questions to ask, because the couple's white but the baby's black, and that was just a reference to the meme. I don't think I should go over it. This was just, I saw Sicario 2, and then it had this bomb scene. I was like, hey, that'd be a pretty funny to be continued meme. It wasn't very hard to get the timing down with the video editor I have, and made it rather easy. But this pretty much summarizes my opinion or my views on Sicario 2. Sicario 1 was fantastic. Sicario 2, and also Sicario 1 had some misogynistic implementations, like they were ignoring the girl FBI agent, and it's like, yeah, I kind of have my same viewpoint. But anyways, I haven't seen anyone else do this meme with this scene or this movie. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny, so I just made a video on that. Okay, so let's go to the last one, most recent one. 13 views? Nice. What? So I never really had that ringtone on my phone. I did in the past, but for a short time. But at the time I didn't have it. It's the X transceiver from Pokemon Black and White. It might be in the first versions of the game, but I played the second ones only, so I got it from that. Just to change up the ringtones for every video. And at the time, and even now, I'm replaying Black 2 on my phone, because for some reason the emulator on my phone's a lot smoother than the one on my laptop. I can actually play at 60 frames a second instead of my laptop, which just drag for some reason. But anyways, that was why.
What? Nigga?
Oh, and this is from Late Late Show Craig Ferguson, because the previous video I had the ending song. I was like, okay, so visually I'm just gonna put this so you guys know what it's from. And it was the interview with Michael Caine and his book and blah blah blah, so yeah, that's it.
No, I did not finish.
Oh yeah, and sorry for interrupting, but the background music is Terrace Village from Spyro, the Reignited trilogy, which, again, I said Spyro 2 was my favorite game, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put some Spyro music in there just to kind of hammer home that theme that I do like Spyro, and this is just one of the tunes. But the tune is from Spyro 1, actually, the first game, and the Reignited trilogy as well. It's from the first game, but I liked it because it was kind of in the background. It was mostly bass. There's not too much melody to it, so it wouldn't distract from what was going on the screen, and with the audio as well.
Reviewing Goblin Slayer. What do you mean?
Oh yeah,
on it. I have.
And canonically, Matt is the one calling me to do a recommendation of his. So there's Brennan and Matt. Next, I'm going to do Adams, which is a movie, which I make reference to later in the video, but it's Land of the Lustrous. I'm thinking of doing that. After I actually do a review of Daily Life, review quote unquote, of the second episode, because technically I watched the first episode, the beginning and end, not beginning to end. So, yeah.
No, I have other recommendations to go over, including yours. Yes, of course I remember. Now, I'm not gonna review the monster.
I actually said remembered in past tense, but I didn't say the RED part clearly enough, so it sounded like I said remember in present. And this video has a lot more of me talking, so I make a lot more mistakes, but I hate doing retakes because every time I do a retake, the voice acting is a lot less natural as I'm talking, so I try to minimize retakes. I only really retake if I really don't get through the script. I don't really do script, but sometimes I would take out a notepad. If it's going to be a long sequence of words, I'd just type it out and then practice pronouncing some of the words slowly, like utilization. That was a hard one. So I would just take that slowly, go over it. And it's easier if you don't have to think about it as you're talking it. So I just sometimes take this out to make the longer scripts possible.
Good one. Why not? Because I don't want to get flagged.
Yeah, okay, so apparently this... I made it... I showed the picture in the other video of Dragon... No, it was a different one, never mind. It's some Monster Musume. Fucking... apparently that show is a lot more fucked up than Dragon Maid. And the guy is like, well, you have to... do you want to do Day Live or Monster Musume? And the joke being that, oh, I don't want to get flagged because it's fucked up. No, I don't want to get flagged because it's a bunch of fanboys. So I don't really care about controversy more so than getting flagged for stupid reasons.
Oh, I don't care whether it's controversial or not. I'll just have a bunch of fanboys flagging my videos over me saying that their show's stupid. Yes, it is! Look, I'll go over your, other option, okay?
That was an actual blunder, but I just kept it on going because it's more genuine as a phone call that I do make blunders, so I kept it.
Okay. Fine. Okay, fine, I won't say it's stupid. I think I'm gonna die. I'm going to move...
So as I'm recording, I actually get a cough, and I was like, you know what, I'll keep it and make a joke. But my grandfather in France, he actually coughs like that, and I rarely see him. But the funny thing is, we're so alike that we do some of the same things. Like, our mannerisms would be the same, like walking sometimes with our hands behind our back, contemplating things. So I just decided to put that cough in, just for personality's sake.
Move away from Goblin Slayer for the time being and focus on reviewing some recommended shows and apparently a movie instead. Also, a lot of people on Xbox think I'm a weeb. I don't know what gives them that idea, but
So, as I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege, there's some guys who are team killing me because they think I'm a weeb. I'm not, by the way, just so you know. But they team kill me and call me weeb, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I'm not a weeb. I actually criticize anime, okay? Calm down. No, there's some weebs who do it, but I use the term weeb in a very condescending tone. I don't mean to be condescending, but there's this stereotype that they're just really fucked up people who are weebs, which is not always the case. Most of the time, they're just normal people, like the guys I have on Xbox. But then you get messages like these, and you're thinking, well, whatever. Some are good. This one's the guy who kept team killing me in Rainbow Six Siege, and I don't know why he called me a pillow fucker. And then I found out that there's actual body pillows that people fuck with. I don't know, it's weird. With like pictures of anime girls on it. It's so stupid. So I don't know. This guy reminds me of Brendan, just the way he talks, like, you my kids. Yeah, that's something he would say. Anime is a sin, blah blah blah. So those were just screenshots of people sending me messages on Xbox. I don't take offense to them. It's just I like implementing. I just like the idea of this happening recently and then putting it into the video.
That idea, but my profile picture is far from Jap material.
Yeah, in my profile picture, I got it first on Xbox and then put it onto the channel.
See me in Rainbow Six Siege, feel free to say hi. Anywho, let's see what this show is about.
So, I don't think I explained this, but how I edit it to look like I actually typed in what was it, stupid fucking anime, and it ended up being Day Day Live. It's just a quick snippet, so I typed that in, clipped to it down.
Anywho,
the new Chrome system. Chrome. I do play him, by the way, in Smash. But the new Chrome systems, if you scroll down too far, it actually shows what you typed in. So I tried to minimize it showing. It actually shows me typing that in, but I don't think people will look at the URL. So I would just scroll down as if it were like an immediate scroll, but it wasn't, as it was loading in, but it's just an editing trick.
Let's see what this show is about, thus stopping them from being a threat to mankind. However, there's a catch. To seal a spirit's power, he must make each spirit fall in love with him and make her kiss with him.
Okay, so the actual reason why I chose to do this, to review this anime instead of the monster one, even though that one was quite a bit controversial, after Goblin Slayer not being controversial, quote unquote, is because of the premise, how stupid it was. I was like, oh, I gotta do this one. So, Matt was telling me what it was over Xbox. I was like, you know what? It's so stupid, I gotta do a review on it. And so, to begin, I just go over the premise to show how stupid it is.
Well, that sounds stupid already. Cheeto's intelligent. Cheeto? Cheeto? His name's fucking Cheeto?
Okay, so his actual name's Cheeto, but thanks to Chrome, Google Chrome, just let me put up a page. Sorry, I'm typing with the phone on my keyboard, so it's kind of hard. So there's like tools, I think they're called JavaScript tools on Google Chrome, where you can actually edit what the page says and some elements. For example, you can change what this picture would be to like some stupid picture of a dog. But what you do right click, inspect, and you can change it doesn't actually change the state of the website, but it's just some like learning tool for developers on how to use Chrome and implement their own websites, make things a bit easier. But it gives you the ability to change stuff like, oh, you are... press enter, and it ends up somewhere. Where is this? Yeah, it ends up here. So anyways, refresh. So people, Matt thought I actually changed the wiki, but I think I wouldn't be able to change any wikis after that. So all I did was take a screenshot of this, and that's why the quality is better than the recording. It's just because the picture's resolution's a lot better. But you can see here, where is his name? His name's actually Cheeto. But on Xbox he says, oh, Cheeto like tries to get these girls to like it. And I was like, his name. Brendan and I were laughing. It's like his name's actually Cheeto, and then I look on the site. It's like, oh, it's Cheeto, but I'll change it nonetheless just to make it look like his name's actually Cheeto, and that's just one of the ways I did it.
Cheetos? Fuck me. Cheeto's intelligent classmate, Origami Tobichi, is a sergeant of the AST anti-spirit team, a special unit designed to suppress the threat posed by spirits. As Cheeto successfully keeps stealing more and more spirits, he gains allies to help him with his dates with other spirits. You know, the more I read into this... Gosh. See, this is what I hate about anime. It panders to the male fantasy. Shoutouts to my low-life feminists. Hey, girl!
Okay, so that's an actual criticism of mine, that it just... Anime is so pandery to the male audience. Now, I'm not saying, like, oh, okay, you should pander as well to the female audience. I don't care about that. It's just, if that's going to be your selling point, it's your show has failed. Like, you have to bring more to the content you're presenting. But if you're going to revolve around that, well, I mean, why would I watch it? I could just go watch porn. I mean, that's... whatever. So I was like, gosh, I can't believe I'm actually saying this. And then...
the male fantasy. Shoutouts to my low-life feminists. Hey, girl!
And I actually looked up Fat Ugly Feminist in Google Images and ended up with this atrocity. Oh, gosh.
Hey, girl! Cheeto also increases the competition among them for his attention and affection, much to his chagrin. Boy, I can't wait to lose some brain cells.
So up until this point, I was actually going to do a Day Live episode 1 review, but I ended up... what happened was I put the field day theme from Breath of the Wild. Just made it loud because it's actually a very quiet piece, but just to make loud noises funny, I put it up to like 100 dB. So the field reminded me of the fields in Breath of the Wild, and I just decided to make a joke out of that. And then it ended up being something else eventually.
Breath of the Wild is not my favorite game. It's actually Spyro 2.
Yeah, that's true as well. But because I made this...
And you know what? Since we're on the subject, I'm gonna go over why Breath of the Wild is better than Witcher 3.
So I put this frame from my Goblin Slayer Part 1 review. I think a lot of people missed me putting this text. And I was expecting people like, oh, what the fuck, why is Breath of the Wild better than Witcher 3? And the whole video ended up being me comparing biasly Breath of the Wild being better than Witcher 3. And on Xbox, before I actually started making the review, quote unquote, Brendan's like, you know what? Just to piss off Matt, don't actually review it. Just, just make some stupid video or just don't put anything from the show in it. I was thinking I could do a Red Letter Media Transformers, I think, Revenge of the Fallen, I think that's the one they did, where the video was like an hour and a half long, but they only did their script and then the rest of it was black screen. I was like, you know what, I could do something else instead. And then that's how I got the idea of actually making this whole review a comparison video for Breath of the Wild being superior to Witcher 3.
Why Breath of the Wild is better than Witcher 3. Number 1, verticality. All vertical surfaces.
And then the next day after uploading it, the same day uploading it, Matt watches the video and he got super pissed because halfway through it, it's still me comparing both games. And it's just, yeah, he got really pissed about it. So I'm actually going to do a review of Daily Live episode 2. He's going to be pissed about that one too because I'm going to skip episode 1. But since I've read the premise of it, needless for me to watch the first episode.
Breath of the Wild, apart from the Sheikah constructions, are scalable, meaning you don't have some stupid ledge hindering your exploration. You are free to roam.
So all the criticisms I'm going to make about Witcher 3 are true? Like, I prefer like the exploration aspect of Breath of the Wild. I prefer the music in Breath of the Wild, blah blah blah. But I put it in such a biased way that this is not really a review of the game. It's just me bashing on Witcher 3, and Jared really loves The Witcher 3. And he's like, oh, all you play is Breath of the Wild on Switch. Yeah, it's a really good game. And so this is kind of bashing on Jared. Not only am I, like, pissing off Matt, I'm pissing off Jared as well at the same time.
Where you please, provided that it's not in icy cold waters or scalding lava pools. Want to see what's beyond that mountain? Well, forget trekking around it, just simply climb the damn thing. Also, Geralt, the superhuman witcher that can hold his own against a fucking invisible and even more superhuman Bruxa, can't gravitate towards the ground from a height of 1 centimeter. Yeah.
Okay, that was actually a glitch in The Witcher 3. For that particular part, he actually can fall, like, I don't know, it was a meter and take some damage afterwards, but his fall damage is ridiculous in The Witcher. So that was a bit of hyperbole of falling, just not even falling and just dying. But that's an actual criticism of The Witcher 3, that the fall damage is ridiculous. You could die from just falling off a ledge.
Burger consumers. I, like a true human being...
Oh yeah, burger consumers being the stereotype for Americans who use the imperial system.
Gravitate towards the ground from a height of 1 centimeter. Yeah, fuck you Brits and burger consumers. I, like a true human being, use the metric system. None of that 12 inches to make a foot and 3 of those to make a yard. Who's the fucking idiot who decided to complicate units of measurement when math is hard enough as it is? No wonder you thought mass Muslim integration was a good idea.
So I was gonna make a joke, both the Americans and the Brits have, like, some sort of problem, and I thought, hey, they're trying to get a lot of Muslims into the country, or make some controversial remark in that regard. And both countries are regretting, well, the populace is regretting, like, mass immigrations of Muslims, essentially. And so I made that, like, some sort of connection between the two.
Also, Breath of the Wild rewards you for using this mechanic instead of trying to kill you, by providing you with a paraglider allowing for easy travel to wherever fancies you. Number 2, music.
Okay, so that clip was actually, there was this feminist choir that ended up on BBC, and it's so go watch it. It's I'll have to find it. So BBC invites this feminist choir, and it's so stupid. Like, is this even music? But I thought it would be funny to introduce the next part of the video.
The BBC recently decided to bolster the flagging credibility.
He's good. Paul Joseph Watson. I do watch his stuff. Maybe it's this one. I remember I saw this a while ago via Paul Joseph Watson, and I thought, yeah, let's give you a good introduction of the
From
part.
Belgium, it's called Sirens, and it is described as an irreverent feminist
that's
manifesto
another
for
reason
the
why
21st century.
Because
to that end,
shut up.
It starts.
My computer's lagging for some reason. But they're called sirens, and in The Witcher 3 you also have sirens. Anyways.
Both games' soundtracks are fantastic and suitable for their respective games, though Breath of the Wild's music is far superior. Why? Because I have a fucking music degree, that's why. Gosh, I hate when people use their degrees as an argument.
Okay, so I actually have a double major in music and French. But I had problems in the past, people arguing with, like, psychology students arguing, because I have a fucking psychological degree that I can make this argument, or that's the reason why I'm right. And I thought of Jordan Peterson, where he was doing that interview saying, she was asking him, what gives you the right to say these things? Like, I'm a clinical psychologist, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't actually bashing on him at all. It was just personal experience with people who have degrees. The pretentiousness of university students is ridiculous. They come out of university expecting like getting the top paid jobs and the top positions, but they don't understand they have to start from the bottom. And this is just me flushing out a bit of frustration on that. And yeah, music degrees, fucking music degrees. Why did I get one? But it does help with my current job being a piper for the regiment, so it's okay. Plus, the French degree in Canada is going to help me quite a bit, finding a government placement.
Will use their degrees as an argument. I suppose I must elaborate. Witcher 3's music is constantly in your face, thus disallowing breathing rooms.
Witcher's 3 is another blunder, but I didn't want to do another retake because the take was pretty good. It's just a few things here and there.
To admire the atmosphere without the music telling you, hey, this is a beautiful place, isn't it? Isn't it?
Hey, listen!
Just so you know, Breath of the Wild is the only Zelda game I've played, so I don't even know why I made that reference. Many of people complained about the scarcity of the music in Bato, and how none of the tunes were memorable.
Yeah, Bato is how I would pronounce the acronym of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it's stupid, but I didn't want to keep saying Breath of the Wild, so instead of repeating myself, I just pronounced the acronym. Also, this...
That's the point. This isn't some Transformer movie game adaptation with constant action. This is an adventure exploration repug.
That's how I pronounce RPG. I actually played the Transformer movie game on the Wii. That was a really fun game. So I just put that in there to say, oh, this is not the same kind of game.
Let's take some Witcher 3 gameplay and inject Field Day theme from the Breath of the Wild.
So, I actually do what I say is putting, I don't know if you guys trust me when I say I do certain things. You shouldn't trust me on everything, but a lot of things is true. I actually do put the Field Day theme from Breath of the Wild while he's riding on his horse. But out of nowhere comes a battle theme from The Witcher 3, Forged in Fire. That's the name of the tune, and it's so out of place, and it's a battle theme. Why would you have that in the exploration segment of the gameplay? But because this review is so biased, I thought, yeah, this makes more sense. And I think it complements this part of the gameplay rather well. I'm gonna skip through that.
Course. Number 3, combat.
Oh yeah, Joe Rogan does a clip on fake martial artists, and this guy, it's so stupid. I was trying to think of a clip to introduce this part, and I thought of that video. It's so stupid.
Also, Witcher 3, Breath of the Wilds, of course. Number 3, combat.
It just slaps him on the back at the end. Oh my gosh.
As you are a monster hunter in The Witcher 3, the gameplay is heavily reliant on combat. And you know what? Yeah, it does a solid job of it. But this video would be biased if I said it was better than Breath of the Wild.
That's my favorite joke of the video is, it would be biased if I said Witcher 3 was better.
Combat. The American Idiot, or AI for short, has unprecedented...
So I wanted to make a funny joke about AI, like there's some sort of acronym for it, and since I've already made like a joke against Americans being stupid using the imperial system, so I made it that the AI stands for American Idiot.
Sophistication in Bato, allowing for riveting and interesting combat encounters that will never go stale. Out of enemies' reach, they'll just simply throw rocks at you. Throw a weapon at a Lizaflow and you'll just catch it. Moblin has no weapon, he'll just throw a... Wait, what? Really? Whereas in The Witcher 3...
So the first time that ever happened to me where the Moblin picks up the Bokoblin, it was such a riveting moment. This is not my gameplay again. This is actually Donkey's, a very funny channel. Subscribe to him, but this is his stuff. But the first time that happened to me, I thought was the funniest part about it, but also an ingenious part of having AI interaction between the enemies. Like in The Witcher, this is again another true criticism I have of it, but The Witcher, the enemies don't really interact with each other. They might bump into each other, but not really do anything. in Breath of the Wild, they actually talk to each other, they actually dance together, they sleep, but they stand guard and stuff like that. And this makes the game a lot better. And they're just hilarious, just beating on them, the expressions they have when they get their weapons taken. So it's an actual criticism.
Wait, what? Really? Whereas in The Witcher 3...
Great. Fucking drowners.
Okay, so yeah, I hate drowners, fuck them. But this is a glitch in The Witcher 3. This is not actual gameplay. Well, it is actual gameplay, but this doesn't happen frequently. But I just want to be as biased as I could be, and I implemented a glitch where the drowners don't attack you.
Now, let me tell you about the special abilities. Both set of special skills allow for variations in combat, and can be utilized to solve puzzles. Witcher 3 makes the abysmal mistake of following the books to a T with signs such as...
What the fuck does this even do?
Yeah, at first, when I first played The Witcher, I was like, what the fuck does Yrden do? That's the purple sign, where he just throws a bunch of hourglasses on the floor. I was like, yeah, these signs are useless, fuck that.
The fuck does this even do? As for Breath of the Wild's runes, which sound much cooler...
So what I meant by sound much cooler, I meant the name of the... Yeah, it's biased, but the name of these special abilities, runes, sounding much cooler than signs. It doesn't matter, it's subjective, but I want to be, again, as biased as humanly possible.
Number 4, girlfriend. Do you fucking get it now?
Now, let's go back to
So, that was a Shammy reference, YouTuber I've previously mentioned. But his character has a picture... It's pictures of owls. But instead I have a picture of Hunter. And he... what was it? Which video? He does a cut like this, where he's like, do you fucking get it already? And puts a picture of an owl on screen like close up. Going over girlfriends. Remember, I didn't do the no bang run in Witcher 3, so I didn't even mention the girlfriends portion in Breath of the Wild, just to make call back to that. But I actually didn't make that reference in the previous video, anyways.
Girlfriend. Do you fucking get it now?
Now, let's go back to Day Day Live. Oh gosh, darn it.
So, I watched the episode beginning and end. I did not actually watch the episode itself, because remember, when I edit these videos, I actually watch it as I'm editing, just to see what kind of reactions I would get out of it, or what kind of jokes I could come up with on the spot. Yeah, so at the end, yeah, fucking... I wanted to say son of a nun to make reference to a previous video, but I thought oh gosh darn it would be better sounding for some reason.
Oh gosh darn it.
This is Washed by the Waters by Need to Breathe, Christian band. I like their music. I don't have any of them downloaded on my phone, but originally I was going to have the end, no, not ending music, but it was Midnight Sleigh Ride, and it was a rendition of a classical tune by the same name. But it was featured in Isle of Dogs. Very good movie, by the way. You should go watch it. I was going to put that instead in the credits, but I thought, you know what? This is... I just felt like putting this one in instead. Also, it's fucking loud because the audio portion of it is... I didn't even touch the amplitude. But the problem is my laptop has a tendency of dialing down the sound. I don't know how to turn that off, but it dials down the sound if it's too loud. And once I put it into video, it doesn't do it anymore. Or if I watch a video, it might be the editor then. But it was not that loud when I was editing, and then all of a sudden it just blasted. But you know what? It's comical because I have no idea how to sound mix. So, in the Xbox party... Shut up. So in the Xbox party, we actually have... The guys who recommended me shows are mostly American. Brennan and Matt do recommend these shows to me, and they're American. So I was like, oh, fuck you. And I come back on Xbox Live, and they're like, oh, fuck you too. And there is one Brit who recommended to me Land of the Lustrous, the movie I'm going to eventually review. So I don't like offending the British guy, although we do have some banter, but no, I don't like offending British people. He's just too polite. And then the Americans, yeah, fuck all of you. Anyways, so that's me going over the videos in case you didn't understand some of the references or why I put some jokes. But anyways, that's it from me. See ya.